Fly like an eagle. Tonight features a historic clash of hungry birds of prey. It's the 1-0 Gateway Eagles and the 1-0 Wellen Park Eagles, and it is the first home regular season varsity game in Wellen Park High School history. Thank you for joining us from Wellen Park High School. I'm Ben Slotnick, along with my wonderful Vibrant Aspect Media crew. Last week on opening week, both teams notched significant victories in their program's young respective histories. First, for the Gateway Eagles, Gateway in its sixth varsity season recorded the following: its first ever opening week win, its most single game points scored with 48, its largest margin of victory in a single game, 40 points, and the 48-8 dismantling of Eastlake County. Also, Chris Strykowski, first-year head coach of Gateway High School, in his first ever game with Gateway, picked up the victory. Shifting to the home side for Wellen Park, and Wellen Park's inaugural varsity regular season game, which was on the road at Mariner High School, the Eagles defeated the Tritons 24-21 behind stellar quarterback play from Noah Wireman. Everybody within the Wellen Park football program is responsible for creating a culture. We will see the best of times and maybe the worst of times and everything in between. But as of right now, in terms of the win-loss record, it most certainly is the best of times. They won the preseason game and won the regular season opener with a 1-0 record. All right, kickoff is coming up at 7:30 p.m. from Wellen Park High School. It's the Eagles and the Eagles. Gateway and Wellen Park coming up next. We welcome you back to Wellen Park High School for tonight's Friday night football game between the visiting Gateway Eagles and Wellen Park Eagles. Previewing tonight's game, first, let's start with the visiting Eagles. Gateway had an opening week to remember last Friday. 3 50-plus yard pass touchdowns for Gateway in week one. This included a 58-yard touchdown pass from Parker Ellis to Aiden Gerardo, which was Gerardo's only catch of the game, And then this is where it gets really crazy. A 91-yard touchdown pass from Aiden King to Jaden Hart. And why not another 90-plus yard touchdown? A 93-yard touchdown pass from Aiden King to Jaden Hart as well. And we'll have more on both King and Jaden Hart right now. Aiden King threw two 90-plus yard touchdowns, both of which were gorgeous deep throws on go routes. Both passes, if you watch the game film from Aiden King to Jaden Hart, were completed in the air of 23 yards. Okay, let's start that over to make that more clear. Both passes had completed air yards of 23 yards and 26 yards. Just so you know, it wasn't one of those plays where the quarterback throws it half a yard down the field but gets 75-yard pass yards on that play. 75 pass yards on that play because that's what we'll often show in the box score. These were true throws, and he found them in the clear down the sideline. Now to the wide receiver, number 2, Jaden Hart. 3 catches, 216 yards, and 3 touchdowns in the win versus Eastlake County. His 93-yard touchdown came in the first quarter, 91-yard touchdown in the third quarter, and a 32-yard reception touchdown in the fourth quarter. You know, you look at those 3 touchdowns, and a 32-yard reception catch seems like a goal line type of play for Jaden Hart. Now, the running back, number 4, C.J. Hood in white. C.J. Hood, I was thinking about it earlier today. Which NFL running back can I compare C.J. Hood to? And he truly does remind me of Maurice Jones-Drew. Maurice Jones-Drew was a solid man. Maurice Jones-Drew was almost impossible to get down. Obviously not impossible, but very difficult. And C.J. Hood is just that, listed at 5'9", 217 pounds. He recorded a 21-yard untouched rush touchdown in the fourth quarter. Do not be confused by his build. He can run, and he is an excellent back when it comes to cutting to the outside. Now the key defensive players for Gateway. Keep an eye out on number 22, Michael Humphrey, middle linebacker, and outside linebacker, number 35, Michael Bagdasarian. 7 solo tackles each in the win over Eastlake County. And then up front, the defensive end, number 90, Bashar Abdel Fattah, pair of sacks in that victory. And the defense also did something unheard of, gave up 1 passing yard on 8 pass attempts. So it'll most definitely be a different story tonight as Wellen Park. Eastlake County has struggled in past years. Wellen Park, of course, a new program, but Noah Wireman is an experienced quarterback transferred from Venice High School. Looking at the home team, the Wellen Park Eagles with a 1-0 record coming off their first ever regular season varsity game and win in program history. Now, contrary to Gateway, Wellen Park had a bit more of a modest showing in the pass game. The longest passing play was a 22-yard completion from Noah Wireman to Jack Underwood on the opening drive, and the longest play was the most important score of the game, as a matter of fact, which was number 8, Noah Wireman's 23-yard touchdown in the fourth quarter. Now keep an eye on number 4, Robert Corrigan. He is an outside linebacker. He had the game-clinching interception in the closing seconds of the fourth quarter, and the only passing touchdown was a 5-yard catch by Graham Cassani. Cassani wearing number 2 for Wellen Park in the first quarter. Now to the key offensive players for Wellen Park. Just mentioned him, Jack Underwood. He was the tone setter on opening week. Receptions of 20 and 23 yards on the opening touchdown drive. His 20-yard grab was a 4th down and 10 conversion from the Mariner 24-yard line, making it 1st and goal. 2 more wide receivers to speak about, neither of which were mentioned prior. Number 10, Shane Scott. This is a lethal slot receiver that thrives between the hashes and is the best deep threat for the Wellen Park Eagles. In fact, we saw it in preseason where he caught the 73-yard touchdown on the seam route up the middle. And lastly, Curtis Beaudry. This is my favorite player to watch personally, number 18 in red tonight. He does his damage in yards after a catch, and so already saw a flash of that in preseason on the negated touchdown. So keep an eye out for Beaudry's Yak game tonight. And Beaudry also had a kick return for a touchdown in the opening preseason game. Then 3 catches and 20 yards last week in the regular season opener. Finally, key defensive players for Wellen Park. It's the 4 men on the defensive line for me. Tackles, Bryce Metz and Colin Gilkerson, as well as the ends, Meg Patel and David Joka. They do things that don't necessarily show up in the stat book, forcing false start penalties on pivotal junctures in the opposing team's drives. So it is Wellen Park and Gateway. The starting lineups that are projected. First for the Wellen Park offense. On the front five, the left tackle, Nolan Murphy, wearing number 66. Then the left guard, number 73, Liam Komorowski. The center, number 63, Colton Vanover. The right guard, number 52, Liam Atkinson, a pair of Liams on the offensive line. And then the right tackle, number 55, Obel Ultrich, double O's up front. Now the wideouts, about five receivers that you should look out for. Number 7, Bobby Alfarano. Number 6, Jack Underwood. Number 2, Graham Casani. Number 10, Shane Scott. And number 18, Curtis Beaudry. And also one of the team captains, tight end, number 13, Nico Brasco. And the quarterback, number 8, Noah Wireman. Then in the backfield, it is composed mainly of numbers 23 and 24, Will Campbell and Malachi Bynum. And A.J. Baldwin can come in occasionally, especially on short yard plays. On the Gateway defense, Jace Andrews and Aiden Gerardo, the defensive backs, as well as Walcourt Orville and David Ramos. Now, I really want to keep an eye on the middle linebacker, number 22, Michael Humphrey, as well as Bagdasarian. Then up front, the defensive end, Bashar Abdel Fattah, the defensive tackles, Maddox Owens and Clevenson Meme, and then the defensive end, number 92, Christian Deandas. Another Christian Deanda. So kickoff is coming up about 15 minutes from now. Gateway and Wellen Park continuing warm-ups. Gateway wearing white jerseys with gold numbers. Kind of tough to see, but it kind of reminds me of Purdue or Vanderbilt, but we'll see. I have the binoculars on. We'll be able to see those numbers and get you the accurate players whenever we can. All right. So 15 minutes from kickoff, we're going to take a break, and we'll be back in a couple of minutes. More pregame coming up for Wellen Park and Gateway. Two unbeaten teams, 1-0 each. Welcome back to Wellen Park High School. We are approximately 10 minutes away from opening kick. The Gateway Eagles and Wellen Park Eagles. Mentioned in the pregame, number 2 wide receiver Jaden Hart for the Gateway Eagles offense. He had a night to remember last Friday. 3 catches, 216 yards, 3 touchdowns. Now, on Max Preps, it says 220 yards, but I'm kind of nitpicky when it comes to stuff like this. It was 216 yards. If you watch the film, you'll see that it was a 93-yard touchdown, 91-yard touchdown, and a 32-yard touchdown. But hey, 4 yards, maybe if it was a record-setting thing, that would make a difference. But in any event, 3 catches for 100 yards is impressive. 3 catches for more than twice that amount. I just don't understand how that happens. But Wellen Park will most likely have their hands full with number 2 in white, black, and gold. Wellen Park wearing red jerseys, white numbers, white pants, white helmets. Gateway, white jerseys, gold numbers, black pants, and black helmets. Now these, see the captains, Michael Humphrey, Joseph Mendez, quarterback Aiden King and Parker Ellis, which both, by the way, Aiden King and Parker Ellis threw for multiple touchdown passes in the opening week win. Aiden King is expected to be the starting quarterback. However, Parker Ellis may come in once in a while, depending on the situation. We'll have the coin toss in about 5 minutes. And the team will run out onto the field now. The bell is ringing. Another excellent crowd, of course. It's showing the Gateway side, but on this side it is really impressive. All right, captains. Jack Underwood, Robert Corrigan, Knox Swafford, and Nico Brasco for Wellen Park, meeting with the Gateway captains in Wellen Park. Will run through the banner in just a few moments. You can see the skies are a bit cloudy, but hopefully able to get this game in tonight. Rather not cloudy, more so dark. But it should be another fun atmosphere. It's the second ever game played at Wellen Park for Wellen Park High School varsity on this field, a preseason game, and this time a first ever regular season varsity home game for Wellen Park High School, looking to keep the young undefeated season going as the team takes the field, led by quarterback Noah Wireman. All right, the coin toss is coming. Michael Humphrey, Gateway linebacker, jumping up and down, excited for tonight's game toward the Gateway sideline.
Hi.
Did not hear who won the toss, but we will find out momentarily. Of course, when they take the field, you'll know. Noah Wireman passed for just over 100 yards in the opening week win, accounted for all 3 of the team's touchdowns, 2 rushing, 1 in the air. As we now get set for the national anthem, Wellen Park Eagles in red, white, and blue, the Gateway Eagles in black, gold, and white. The Wellen Park home supporters most certainly came out in large numbers tonight, excited for an Eagle on Eagle battle. Gateway will kick, Wellen Park will receive. Again, Wellen Park will receive to begin tonight's game. Kicking it away for Gateway is number 24, Keegan Lee. Two men back deep to return for Wellen Park High School, Curtis Beaudry and Shane Scott. Keegan Lee to kick it away, Beaudry and Scott, the 2 men back to return. The first varsity regular season home game in Wellen Park history is underway. Lee boots it, it's a low kick. Fielded by Shane Scott at the 10-yard line, across the 20. Scott at the 30, slides, and he takes a little bit of a late hit, but Wellen Park will start at the 30-yard line. Solid field position for the Eagles. Wellen Park led by quarterback number 8, Noah Wireman, and just a very deep receiving core. We'll see they start with Kasani Underwood. As well as Curtis Beaudry. The split end at the bottom of your screen is Graham Kasani. Wireman in the gun, single back. To his left is Will Campbell. First play from scrimmage. Fakes the handoff. Quick pass to Curtis Beaudry, and he'll get to about the 40-yard line. Close to the first down marker. So a pickup of 9, second down and less than a yard at the 40. Twin receivers left, Curtis Beaudry and Jack Underwood. Underwood had a pair of 20-plus yard catches on opening week. Wireman rolling to his right and slips up. Loss of a couple on the play, and it will be 3rd down and about 3. Graham Kasani is the wideout at the top of your screen. Once again, Twins left, Beaudry and Underwood. Campbell, the single back. Wireman fakes the handoff. Quick pass to Underwood, makes the catch. Or are they saying incomplete? No catch. Oh, and it is third down, so that first play was ruled a first down. So third down and 12. My apologies. Third down and 12 for Wellen Park. Spread offense. Wireman drops back. Wireman pressured and taken down. And the ball came out. It is recovered, though, by Wellen Park. It looked like the center, Colton Vanover, recovered. And now Wellen Park will punt. So after a promising first play on the 9-yard pass to Shane Scott, Wellen Park will punt it away. Childers punts it away. Back to return Aiden Gerardo, and instead it is scooped up at about the 45, and a big return down the sideline for Jaden Hart. And Hart is finally wrapped up near the 25-yard line, so exceptional field position for Gateway. And here comes the Gateway offense, high-powered in week one, led by quarterback number 1, Aiden King, and wide receiver Jaden Hart, who had 3 catches, 2 of which were 90-plus yard touchdowns. Gateway will start at the 28-yard line. It is Parker Ellis starting. Parker Ellis's first pass is incomplete. I think Parker Ellis and Aiden King may do some flip-flopping tonight. Second down and 10 for Gateway. Wonderful field position at the 28-yard line of Wellen Park. Trips left for Gateway. Split end to the right is Jaden Hart, the lethal wideout for Gateway. Ellis drops back. Quick bubble screen is bobbled and incomplete. Third down and 10 for Gateway at the Wellen Park 28-yard line. Once again, trips left, spread out. Jaden Hart alone to the right. Ellis in the gun, takes the snap, drops back, going deep into the end zone for Jaden Hart, and he is interfered with, but now a late flag comes out from the side judge. It'll be a 15-yard penalty, or actually half the distance to the goal, and a Gateway first down. It looks like they're actually, well, now they're taking the steps. All right. First down and 10 from the Wellen Park 13. Gateway enters the red zone following the pass interference penalty. Jaden Hart was the wide receiver on the play, and Shane Scott in coverage. In the pistol, Ellis takes the snap, hands it off. And it looks like it was Trinidad on the carry, won't get much. It'll be second down and 7 from the 10. Gateway started at the Wellen Park 28-yard line, following the Jaden Hart punt return. Like Gateway front five with Jerome Joseph, the center Barney, Marius, and Henry has done a fine job thus far keeping Ellis safe from the Wellen Park pass rush. Ellis in the gun. Play action. Now takes off. Ellis is in for the touchdown. Parker Ellis with a 10-yard rush touchdown, and Gateway strikes first, 6-0, visiting Eagles. On for the PAT, Keegan Lee. And he puts it in, 7-0 Gateway. A 10-yard rushing touchdown from Parker Ellis.
Tonight's game is proudly supported by Madame Homes, a platinum partner of Wellen Park Athletics. Look for Madame Homes on the gym display and seating video board. Madame Homes, helping families feel at home in Wellen Park.
A great start for Gateway. All started with the Jaden Hart punt return to the Wellen Park 28-yard line. A pass-heavy drive from both teams, but capped off by a few late runs, including the one that broke the plane. This time only one return man for Wellen Park. It is Curtis Beaudry standing at the 5-yard line. Keegan Lee boots it away. It'll bounce inside the 5 and roll out of bounds. So an illegal kick will give Wellen Park great field position. They'll start at the 35.
Wellen Park will take over on their own 35-yard line. First down.
We've yet to see a run play, and we saw quite a few in the win over Mariner, including Will Campbell and Malachi Bynum, numbers 23 and 24 for Wellen Park. And there is Malachi Bynum, who sees the field for the first time tonight. You see this beautiful crowd of Wellen Park fans supporting their home Eagles. Again, it is a battle of the Eagles tonight. Wireman hands it to Bynum. Bynum cuts to the outside across the 45. Bynum down to the 47, a first down run for number 24 in red. A pickup of 12 for Malachi Bynum. Curtis Beaudry is the split end receiver at the bottom of your screen. 2 men out wide for Wellen Park. Wireman again hands it off to Bynum, who crosses the 50. A gain of 4 on the play, 2nd down and 6 upcoming. Jack Underwood joins the party. Twin receivers at the bottom of your screen. Wireman hands it off this time to Will Campbell, who finds a seam. Will Campbell down to the 35-yard line. Another first down run for Wellen Park. On the opening drive, you saw nothing but passes, and thus far on the second series, 3 runs to begin. Beaudry and Underwood swap to the right side of the field, and this time Bobby Alfarano, the lone wideout, to the left. Will Campbell next to Wireman. Wireman takes a snap, hands it to Campbell, and Campbell is quickly brought down for a pickup of 1 to the 34. Second down and 9 Eagles from the Gateway 34. Delayed play call. Still 20 seconds plus on the play clock. Single back set, Wireman in the gun. Drops back, standing at about the 45, launches deep for Curtis Beaudry, and it is incomplete. Aiden Gerardo in coverage for Gateway. Third down and 9 for Wellen Park. Trips left. Curtis Beaudry, Bobby Alfarano, and Jack Underwood, the receivers, at the bottom of the screen. Wireman, quick pass to Underwood. Fights through a tackle. Jack Underwood keeps going, and Underwood fighting off 5 tacklers and gets down inside the 20 for the first down. Jack Underwood. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tacklers. A little bit of pre-snap motion, and I think this will. Yep, it does go against Wellen Park, so it'll be 1st and 15, and that'll take him out of the red zone momentarily. Now the tight end Nico Brasco out wide, spread offense. In the pistol, Wireman. Hands off to Bynum, and he surges forward to the 20-yard line, back into the red zone, and it'll be 2nd down and 11. So both Bynum and Campbell seeing action in the halfback position in this second series. Wireman on the bubble screen has Underwood, and he is immediately taken down. That was Ramos on the tackle. Once again, 3rd down and long for Wellen Park. 3rd down and 11 from the 21. Trips left for the Eagles. Beaudry, Alfarano, and Underwood. Wireman instead gives it to Bynum, who is wrestled down for a loss. And this will bring out the field goal unit for the first time tonight. So a promising drive, though, for Wellen Park. They were getting it going in the run game. Had a nice pass to Jack Underwood, who did all his damage in the yards after catch. This will be a 38-yard field goal attempt for Donovan Childers, the 4-star kicker. The snap. Childers on the kick. Is no good. Short and left, and Gateway will take over. Inside the 25. So first 2 drives come up empty for Wellen Park, and Gateway looks to take a 2-score lead with points of any kind. 5 minutes and 15 seconds to play in the opening quarter. Gateway starts. Quick timeout on the field.
Green Vista Roofing for supporting Eagle Athletics. Green Vista Roofing, protecting what matters, one roof at a time.
A punt and a field goal miss. The first two drives for Wellen Park, and Gateway's first series was a 10-yard Parker Ellis rushing touchdown. Wellen Park defense back on the field. Keep an eye on those inside linebackers. Number 4, Robert Corrigan. Number 32, Robert DeLuca. As well as 25, Evan Tague on the outside. First time we see C.J. Hood, the powerful running back, 5'9", 217 listed. Reminds me of Maurice Jones-Drew in his prime days with the Jaguars. And Gateway will start 5 yards back. And this is what happened. We remember our preseason game here against Northport, the delay of games. So Gateway has a delay of game to begin their second series, and now it'll be first down and 15 from their own 15-yard line. Parker Ellis under center in the I formation. Ellis gives to Trinidad, nothing much on the play. Get about 3 on the play.
2 yards on the play. Second down, 13 to go.
Second down and long for the Eagles of Gateway. Trips at the bottom of your screen for Gateway. And the one receiver out wide is Jaden Hart. Ellis in the gun. Takes the snap. Quick pass and a pre-snap penalty. False start. 2 false starts on the second series for Gateway, and that'll back them up. 5 yards, second down and 18. Now from the 13-yard line of their own. This time Jaden Hart lined up on the right side of the line of scrimmage all alone. Ellis in the gun, looks right. On the screen, a catch is made, but brought down for a big loss at the 5. Aiden Gerardo made the catch, and Knox Swafford makes the tackle for a loss. It is third down and forever for Gateway. Just don't want to turn the football over. Bertrand Holbrook and Sebastian Cabanes, the 2 safeties. Bunched up formation for Gateway. I'll just do a simple handoff. And breaking free past the 20. Was Trinidad, but it will still be fourth down, and the punt team comes on for Gateway. But it does make it a much easier punt for Keegan Lee. So it's still an important run for Trinidad. Curtis Beaudry back to return the punt at about the 45-yard line of Wellen Park. Keegan Lee fields the high snap, boots it away. Beaudry makes the catch at the 50, and it's a fair catch, but flags on the field. It goes against Gateway. Penalty decline. Wellen Park will have stellar field position at their own 47-yard line. So all three series have had good field position. Own 30, own 35, and now own 47. So it's gradually getting better for the Eagles. 7-0 Gateway. The difference, the 10-yard Parker Ellis rushing touchdown. Now Noah Wireman and the boys back on the field. Trip spread out left. Will Campbell is the back. Wireman the gun, drops back. Fires to Beaudry, who makes the grab at the 40 of Gateway, and Beaudry evades the tackles. Beaudry down the sideline. And inside the red zone goes Curtis Beaudry, the Yak King. Look at Beaudry cut back after the missed tackle from Humphrey. Quick handoff to Campbell, cutting to the outside. Campbell is swiped up. But a good first down run for Campbell.
Carried by number 23, Will Campbell. 3-yard gain on the play. Second down.
Second down, Wellen Park inside the 15. Wireman fakes the handoff. It's a bobbled pass, but was it caught? Yes, it was. Curtis Beaudry again on the catch inside the 5-yard line, and it will be first down and goal for the Eagles. Malachi Bynum and Will Campbell now trade places. First down and goal inside the 5-yard line for Wellen Park, looking to even things up against Gateway in the final moments of the first quarter. Wireman the gun takes the snap, hands it off to Bynum, and Bynum cruises in for the touchdown. Malachi Bynum has his first rushing touchdown of the season, and Wellen Park is on the board. Childers now on for the point after. And this game is all tied up at 7 apiece. Malachi Bynum
The score, Gateway 7,
on the rush touchdown.
7.
So the play of the drive, of course, the Curtis Beaudry catch made at the Gateway 40, and he brought it all the way down to inside the 20.
Coffee for supporting the Eagles.
Back to return for Gateway, Jaden Hart and Aiden Gerardo. 7-7, 67 seconds to play in the opening quarter. Gateway looks to respond following the Wellen Park 53-yard drive that started at their own 47, rather 43-yard drive, no 53. Childers kicks it away. Hart and Gerardo back deep, and it's fielded by Hart at the 5-yard line. Jaden Hart past the 15, reversing field. Jaden Hart is finally wrestled down at about the 23.
Jaden Hart, tackle number 25.
Evan Tague on the tackle. Rule it at the 24. First down for Gateway, beginning their third series.
4-yard line.
A 10-yard touchdown and then a punt, which was a 3-and-out. It helped that Gateway had a pair of infractions pre-snap. A false start and a delay of game plagued Gateway on their previous series. Parker Ellis in the pistol, Daniel Trinidad the back. The snap gives to Trinidad. Gets past the 25 to the 27, a pickup of 3 for Gateway.
2-yard carry.
Closing moments of the opening quarter, 45 seconds to play. Wellen Park received first, punted. Deuce is at the bottom of your screen, Aiden Gerard. Pass is complete outside. It was Jaden Hart on the catch. Brought down by Shane Scott near the sideline prior to the 30.
Number 10, Shane Scott. It's third.
And that will conclude the opening quarter. Gateway Eagles 7, Wellen Park Eagles 7. We'll take a quick break and we'll return with second quarter action, an even game between Gateway and Wellen Park.
Stay comfortable with At Your Service Cooling and Heating, a proud supporter of Wellen Park football. For dependable home comfort, put At Your Service to work for you.
Season 1-0 after opening week victories last Friday night. Now switching sides now from its own 32-yard line. Gateway will have third down and 2. High formation and a bad snap. And they call him down, fourth down.
Fumble on the play, recovered by number 13, Parker.
It was a low snap.
It's fourth down.
That's unfortunate. It was third down and short, probably going to pick that up, and now you have no choice but to send the punt team out.
On the punt for Gateway, number 24, Keegan Lee.
The elusive Curtis Beaudry is back to return the Keegan Lee punt in the opening moments of the second quarter. Beaudry standing at the 39-yard line of Wellen Park. Keegan Lee catches the clean snap and boots it away to Beaudry. Instead it bounces and takes a nice little gateway roll to the 35 where Wellen Park will start.
First down.
It's the fourth series for Wellen Park. A punt, a missed field goal, and a Bynum rushing touchdown.
Tonight's game is supported by State Farm, Agent Bethany Bell, Sunset Cadillac of Venice, Sunset Kia, and Mazda of Port Charlotte. Thank you for supporting Wellen Park student athletes.
We're still yet to see a catch from Graham Cassani. And Cassani is a great big target. He had the lone reception touchdown last week in the win over Mariner. Wireman in the gun. Quick out to the sideline, and there he is, Graham Cassani. Grabs it at the 40.
Pass complete to number 2,
And I spoke it
Graham
into
Cassani.
existence.
Five-yard gain on the play. Second down.
Two receivers, right, one left. Wireman hands it off to Campbell, and Campbell gets to the 43 on the inside run.
Carried by number 23, Will Campbell. 3-yard gain on the play. Third down.
Spread offense for Wellen Park. Jack Underwood and Graham Cassani at the bottom of your screen, and at the top, it is Shane Scott and Curtis Beaudry. Third down and short, and Gateway jumped. This is going to be a 5-yard penalty resulting in a Wellen Park first down. There's the official call, encroachment on Gateway, and Wellen Park will move the chains. First down and 10 from the Wellen Park 47. Wireman fakes the handoff and has Shane Scott, who streaks down the sideline. Shane Scott, you can't catch him. 53 yards for the touchdown. Noah Wireman to Shane Scott for the explosive score, and Wellen Park is in front 13-7. Donovan Childers on for the PAT. It's good, and it's 14-7 Wellen Park. Shane Scott with the 53-yard reception for the touchdown. Just under 10 minutes to play in the second half. And that offside call was a killer for Gateway. Not only gave him the fresh set of downs, but also maybe a play that would have never happened. From Wireman to Shane Scott. Yards after catch. Shane Scott mentioned in the pregame how Shane Scott is the big play guy. Not just because of his number, but he does remind me of Tyreek Hill when he plays. Aiden Gerardo and Jaden Hart back to return for Gateway. 14-7, the Eagles lead over the visiting Eagles. Childers boots it away from the 40, and it's a short kick. And this could be recovered by Wellen Park. I think it was Malachi Bynum who picked it up. And it was in bounds. Outstanding special teams by Wellen Park. They recover the short kickoff, and the Eagles will start inside of the Gateway 30. Malachi Bynum on the recovery. You do not see that every day, even at the high school level. That is exceptional. And Wellen Park is right back to it offensively. First down at the 27-yard line. Trips left for Wellen Park. Single back set. Wireman drops back. Wireman has time. Going deep into the end zone, and it is caught. Curtis Beaudry for the touchdown. There is, however, a flag on the field. Sitting between the hashes at the 23-yard line, and this will be coming back.
Offensive pass interference. 15-yard penalty. First down.
They call a 15-yard penalty that scraps the Curtis Beaudry touchdown. First down and 25 from the Gateway 43-yard line. Wireman drops back, Under pressure, rolls out. Wireman going deep again into the end zone for Beaudry, and it's caught. Curtis Beaudry. You can't take that one away from number 18 in red, white, and blue. Electrifying deep pass from Noah Wireman to Curtis Beaudry. 43 yards for the Wellen Park score. 20-7, Wellen Park. Childers on for the PAT. Whistles blow before the kick. I think they're going to retry the point after.
Eagle football proudly recognized Advocate Health, Third Rate Pool, Inglewood Ford, Florida Central Credit Union, and Grand Air. We appreciate your partnership.
Donovan Childers now on for the extra point. Got it, 21-7, Wellen Park. This feels a lot like that first preseason game where Wellen Park was down 7-0 and then scored 45 unanswered, but don't want to jump the shark there. To quote the great John Hine. Curtis Beaudry, 43 yards for the touchdown into double coverage.
Your next family meal and tell them the Eagles sent you.
Three straight touchdown series for Wellen Park. A 3-yard rush touchdown for Malachi Bynum, a 53-yard Shane Scott touchdown, and then the 43-yard reception touchdown for Curtis Beaudry. So Curtis Beaudry and Shane Scott, each with a reception touchdown tonight. Business, as usual, for Wellen Park. Childers to kick it away again. Gerardo and Jaden Hart back to return. It's the same kind of kick, bounces, but out of bounds. So this time it backfires and Gateway will start at its own 35-yard line. But I'll tell you, for that to work even one time out of 9 times is impressive. Wellen Park recovered the kickoff at the Gateway 24-yard line, 27-yard line.
35-yard line, first down.
It's just all around incredible execution. First of all, the kick to have that land the way it did from Childers. And then, of course, a little bit of his luck, but also skill takes a place. And then recovered by Malachi Bynum, the running back. Bynum, that's the play of the game right now, that Malachi Bynum recovery. Parker Ellis and company take over for Gateway. And this time it is a sack. Evan Tague brings down Aiden King, who is now in the game at quarterback. Gateway will do that. They'll switch their quarterbacks, and Evan Tague drops back King for a significant loss, 5 yards, second down and 15. So tackle for a loss by Knox Swafford earlier in the game, and then this time a sack by Evan Tague. And Gateway, for the second straight drive, will have a loss of 5 yards or more on its first play. Aiden King in the gun. Trinidad, the running back, to his left. King on the mesh play, gives it to Trinidad, and he is dropped back for a loss, and the ball comes out. Colton Pipish forced the fumble. However, it is recovered.
Fumble on the play, recovered by Gateway.
By Gateway. Rather, Robert DeLuca forced the fumble. DeLuca forced the fumble. But recovered by Gateway, and they go back another 3 yards, and it'll be third down and 18 for Gateway. That first down marker at the 35. Aiden King drops the snap under pressure, and he gets it out on the right side for Trinidad, and he keeps going. Trinidad finally wrestled down at the 20-yard line, and Gateway with a ginormous
Pass complete to number 3. Gateway
play to
first
extend
down.
this drive.
Gateway first down.
It was 3rd and 18, and Gateway picks up 58 yards on the play. First down and 10 in the red zone for Gateway following the Trinidad 58-yard catch. Single back set. Aiden King in the gun. Jaden Hart is the receiver at the top of your screen out wide. King drops back. And the slant pass is incomplete, intended for Gerardo, batted down at the line of scrimmage. Second down for Gateway.
Second down, 10 yards to go.
$7:27 to play in the first half. Jaden Hart again out wide to the top of your screen. Keep an eye out on number 2 in white, black, and gold. King under center. Gives to Trinidad. He is met quickly by Colton Pipish. And that Wellen Park defensive line. Loss on the play, third down.
It's third down.
Now at the 21-yard line of Wellen Park, Gateway faced with a 3rd and 11. Spread offense, 2x2 wide receivers. King drops back in the gun. Under pressure by Bryce Metz. It's a wobbly pass, and it was tipped in the secondary by Tyler Miller. Incomplete. And now Gateway.
Pass broken up by number
We'll see what they
16,
decide to
Tyler
do.
Miller. It's fourth down.
4th down and 11 for Gateway. What will they decide to do here? It looks like the offense is still on the field. Wellen Park did this last week. They had 4th down and 10 inside the 30, went for it and picked up 20 yards. However, they'll have some time to think about it. Gateway and head coach Chris Strykowski
Gateway
will call a timeout. 6 minutes, 39 seconds to play in the first half.
Jenkins Chevrolet. From sales to service, Jenkins Chevrolet is committed to serving our community and supporting the Eagles.
It'll be a quick timeout, 30-second timeout. The big play so far, Malachi Bynum recovering the kickoff, and then Curtis Beaudry's 53-yard touchdown catch, rather 53-yard to Shane Scott, and then the 43-yard reception touchdown from Curtis Beaudry. Noah Wireman with his first 2 passing touchdowns tonight. His total is now 3 on the season. And Gateway will, in fact, keep the offense on the field. 4th down and 11 from the 21-yard line. Trips left for Gateway. 1 wide out, alone to the right. Empty set. Aiden King takes the snap in the gun. King rolling out under pressure from Bryce Metz. King will run with it. King to the 10. King is taken down, and he got just enough for the first down.
Carried by number 1, Aiden King. Tackle by number 4, Robert Corrigan. Gateway first down.
The line to gain was at around the 10-yard line. He gets to the 8. Goal-to-go situation for the Gateway Eagles. First down at the 8 of Wellen Park. Impressive run from Aiden King, pressured quickly by Bryce Metz, the defensive tackle. Four seconds on the play clock. Gateway needs to get this off. And they'll burn their second timeout, not just of the first half, not just of the second quarter, but in the past minute. 2 timeouts called by Gateway. Well, after the first timeout, it sure worked out, as it was the 13-yard run by Aiden King. Parker Ellis started the game at quarterback, played the first few series, and then Aiden King took over, and it was actually the other way around in the opening week game as Fiend plays. That song actually grew on me. First down and goal for Gateway. We're going to cut this to a 1-possession deficit. Single back set, King in the gun, Trinidad to his right. King fakes the handoff and he runs it himself, but he is met by Robert Corrigan. And he is dropped down. So Corrigan.
Second down.
Looked like no gain on the play, so first down and goal becomes, first down and goal from the 8 becomes second down and goal from the 8 for Gateway. They only have 1 timeout remaining in the first half. Second down and goal from the 8-yard line for Gateway. Trips left for the Eagles. King in the gun takes the snap, launches it into the end zone on the fade route, and it is caught by Jaden Hart for the touchdown. Jaden Hart's 4th reception grab of the season for a touchdown puts Gateway within 1 possession, and it's 21-13 Wellen Park. Outstanding grab by Jaden Hart. Now Keegan Lee on for the PAT. And it is good. 21-14. An exciting drive capped off by the 8-yard touchdown catch from Jaden Hart. So 5 touchdowns, and we still have 5 minutes to play in the opening half. How about Jaden Hart? These receivers tonight, Jaden Hart for Gateway, and then Curtis Beaudry and Shane Scott making some highlight reel plays. Very thrilling start to this matchup. Keegan Lee to kick it away. A little bit of thunder in the background, but a little thunder never hurt anybody, except for the people that get struck by it, I guess, or the lightning. Thunder comes before lightning. Beaudry and Scott both back to return the kickoff. And Keegan Lee sends it away from the 40-yard line. It's a low kick, bounces at the 20. It's fielded cleanly by Beaudry. Curtis Beaudry past the 30. Curtis Beaudry breaks another tackle, and Beaudry is past the 40-yard line. The big playmakers, Beaudry and Scott. continue to combine for an outstanding night, and Beaudry has a lovely return to the 41-yard line. So that's where Wellen Park will start at their own 41.
First down.
The field position tonight for Wellen Park has been quite remarkable. Own 30, own 35, own 47, own 35, opponent 27, and now their own 41-yard line. I mean, you couldn't ask realistically for something better when your worst field position tonight has been from your own 30-yard line, now on 6 series, with this being the 6th. And because of that Wellen Park onside kick recovery, Gateway has only had 4 offensive series, and they've had field position from the plus 28, but then own 20, own 24, own 35, so more standard, I guess, for those final 3. But Wellen Park, they'll suffocate you any which way they can. Head coach Sasha Heyer he's not in this for the fun and games. This man wins. He's a winner. He's a proven winner. And these kids all coming from different places. Remember, nobody came from Wellen Park the previous season. This is the inaugural campaign for the Wellen Park Eagles, and they are playing like they've been together for at least a year, that's for sure. The Gateway's also having a solid game of their own. Malachi Bynum is the running back. Wireman gives it to Bynum. Squirts past a few tacklers. Bynum down the sideline across the 40 and past the 35. A big run by Malachi Bynum. First down, Wellen Park. Malachi Bynum gaining 25 yards on the play. First down and 10, Wellen Park from the Gateway 34. Beaudry, the split end at the bottom of your screen. Wireman fakes the handoff, but timeout called by Wellen Park, their first of the half.
Correction, timeout, Wellen Park. Their first timeout of the half.
So Wellen Park still with 2 timeouts to go, 4:32 to play in the opening half.
Tonight's game is supported by CoWorks. Wellen Park High School thanks CoWorks for investing in our athletes and helping Eagle Nation soar.
Great crowd on the Wellen Park side of the sideline. As for Gateway, not nearly as much, but the ones that came have seen quite a show from both sides. After the timeout, we return to action. First and 10 from the Gateway 34. Stacked receivers on both sides. Wireman drops back, throws it up the middle, caught by Kasani. Kasani is wrestled down at the 20-yard line, but a pickup of 14 and another Wellen Park first down. Wireman to Kasani.
Number 2, Graham Kasani, Eagles first down.
Wellen Park in the red zone. Beaudry, the solo receiver at the bottom of the screen. And split twins out wide. Wireman launches to the end zone for Beaudry, and it's incomplete. Off the fingertips of Curtis Beaudry, who was looking for his second reception touchdown of the first half. Second down and 10 from the Gateway 20-yard line. Will Campbell off. Malachi Bynum now the running back in for Wellen Park. The lone receiver at the top of your screen is Graham Kasani. Wireman hands off to Malachi Bynum on the inside. Bynum gets a nice chunk of yardage down to the Gateway 12. It'll be 3rd down and short for Wellen Park. Kasani still the lone wide receiver at the top of your screen. Underwood and there's a give to Campbell. And he gets enough for the first down to the 9. First down and goal for Wellen Park at the Gateway 9-yard line. Wellen Park seeking its 4th consecutive touchdown drive after coming up empty on the opening pair of series. Kasani, Underwood, and Bobby Alfarano, the receivers. They give us to Campbell. Campbell up the middle, shakes off a tackler, and is down inside the 2-yard line.
Carried by number 23, Will Campbell. 7-yard gain on the play. 2nd goal.
2nd down and goal from the 1-yard line for Wellen Park. The halfback is Will Campbell. Wireman in the gun. Keeps it himself and walks in for the Wellen Park touchdown. Noah Wireman's 3rd rushing touchdown of the regular season gives Wellen Park a 27-14 advantage. Excellent fake from Noah Wireman. PAT from Childers is good.
Extra point by Donovan Childers.
4 straight touchdown drives for Wellen Park.
Wellen Park Eagles 28.
And now Gateway has 2.5 minutes to put something together. Down. Jaden Hart back to return for Gateway. Donovan Childers, the 4-star kicker, will boot it away for the Wellen Park Eagles. And that will fly through the end zone, a touchback. Gateway will start at its own 20.
End zone touchback. Gateway will take over on their 20-yard line. First down.
Should be Aiden King still in at quarterback. See number 8, Jace Andrews in the game at wide receiver. It is still Aiden King. And Trinidad in the backfield. Spread offense for Gateway. King is pressured and the pass is scooped up by Jaden Hart, it looked like. Actually on the catch, it was Will Quintana. And Quintana appears to be in a bit of pain. That's the first grab of the game for Quintana.
5 yards. 2nd down.
Once again, spread offense for Gateway. Past the 2-minute mark in the opening half. On the screen pass caught by Trinidad, he'll get to the 34-yard line of Gateway, and that is enough for the first down. Something to keep in mind, Gateway only has 1 timeout remaining in the first half. They used 2 on the previous touchdown series, which resulted in the Jaden Hart 8-yard touchdown grab. You can see again a great crowd for Wellen Park. These fans are excited. Everybody's excited. When it's new, it's exciting. lot of clock coming off. King drops back under pressure by Colton Pipish. Now it's Joka. Joka will send King down. David Joka. And now the clock is under a minute in the first half. And if I'm Wellen Park, honestly, I'll start to use timeouts. Maybe force a late punt.
Third down. Wellen Park.
Well, they moved the chains.
Of the half.
How is it third down? Apparently it is third down for Gateway. 50 seconds to play in the first half. Third down and long for Gateway. Wellen Park now with only one timeout remaining. This score is 28-14, but it could very much not be the same by the end of the first half. Very likely could not be. That's a quarterback design run. Aiden King past the 30. Now he runs backwards, and the knee hits the turf on the Shane Scott tackle. Wellen Park will call its final timeout of the half, and they'll get a chance with probably, by the time they get the ball, a little bit under 30 seconds to get into field goal range for Donovan Childers, or who knows, an explosive touchdown again in the cards for Wellen Park.
The signs of Eagle Pride are everywhere, thanks to supporters like Venice Sign Shop. Wellen Park football appreciates Venice Sign Shop and its commitment to our community.
So Gateway will kick it away from its own 30-yard line. It'll be Curtis Beaudry. Wellen Park leads 28-14 with 39 seconds remaining in the first half. Gateway is sent to punt it away to the returner Curtis Beaudry, who is standing at the Wellen Park 40-yard line. The snap is on the money to Keegan Lee. Boots it away. It's a high and short kick that will bounce at the 40 and take a nice Gateway roll. And that ball keeps going down to the 22-yard line. Keegan Lee, exceptional special teams in the closing moments of the first half, but Wellen Park does have 25 seconds. We'll see what they decide to do with it. This could get interesting. Remember, this is not a team that is shying away from big plays. Already a 43-yard and 53-yard touchdown this half. Maybe they'll take a knee, maybe they won't. And they will just take a knee. At the conclusion of the first half, Wellen Park leads 28-14, scoring 4 consecutive touchdowns on their last 4 series. Player of the half. Honestly, I'll say the play of the half was Malachi Bynum recovering that kickoff. That was a game changer, but Noah Wyman, of course, Shane Scott, plenty of love to go around. Jack Underwood, Graham Cassani, Curtis Beaudry, just all around great game. Also Colton Vanover, the Wellen Park center. Everybody on the offensive line, Liam Atkinson, Obel Ultrich, Nolan Murphy, Liam Komorowski. In other words, the entire roster has showed up for Wellen Park. All right, we'll be back in about 5 or so minutes. Wellen Park 28, Gateway 14. We'll take a break.
Thank you to our marching War Eagles. Great job. Let's give them a round of applause.
Welcome back to the grounds of Wellen Park High School. An offensive first half, 6 total touchdowns, 4 of which belonged to the home team. Wellen Park opened the game with a punt, a missed field goal. However, then it was a Bynum 3-yard rush touchdown, a 53-yard reception touchdown from Shane Scott, a 43-yard catch for the score by Curtis Beaudry, and then finally the 1-yard on the read option, Noah Wireman into the end zone for a touchdown. However, for Gateway, 10-yard Ellis rush touchdown on the opening drive, pair of punts, reception touchdown from Jaden Hart, and then a punt in the final 30 seconds of the first half. But all in all, a lot of explosive plays, each team with a 50-plus yard completion. Trinidad had that one in the first half. Just fun football. It's the first ever regular season home varsity game for Wellen Park. I think we'll definitely have to keep an eye on Jaden Hart because Gateway will get the ball first coming out of the second half, which is, of course, important. Gateway still yet to take the field before we begin the third quarter. I want to go back to the starting field position. In the first half, Wellen Park started in its 6 drives from the own 30, own 35, own 47 in the first quarter. Then in the second quarter, own 37, opponents 27, and the Gateway, rather their own 41. Just stellar field position. In fact, I think the average is probably at about, I'm quite a good mathematician. I think I'm going to say at approximately its own 47-yard line, I would say. Maybe around midfield, but yeah, something like that. I refuse to use a calculator. Can use my own brain. All right. We didn't see a lot of Gateway running back C.J. Hood in the first half. C.J. Hood, the 5'9", 217 listed running back who had that 21-yard rush touchdown in week 1 against Eastlake County, was pretty quiet. I think he had 1 or 2 touches. Just keep throwing to Jaden Hart. I think Jaden Hart will eventually see a lot more double coverage, and that will give Aiden Gerardo more touches probably. I think Aiden King is going to be running the football a decent amount in the first half, especially on third down. Do not count him out running the ball on third down and even medium or long, as you saw earlier. Third down 11 conversion in the red zone, got it down to the Wellen Park 8-yard line. But Noah Wireman, boy oh boy, is he making a name for himself here at Wellen Park High School. Played junior varsity at Venice for the Indians. We're about 80 seconds away from beginning the second half from Wellen Park High School. Don't forget, next week, not even a week from today, sooner, on Thursday night, we'll be facing DeSoto County. Should be a fun game again. Hopefully, for Wellen Park's sake, a 2-0 Eagles team. It's always fun when both teams have the same name, Eagles and Eagles. In college, you'll see that if, let's say, well, happens all the time with the Bulldogs, Georgia, Mississippi State. The Tigers, LSU, Auburn, Missouri. Look at that Wellen Park crowd. I saw an interesting jersey, an A.J. Brown, well, not really interesting, but an A.J. Brown Eagles jersey. A.J. Brown now on the Patriots, of course. I think the Eagles are going to have a big year. And everything comes back to the Eagles. Wow, I didn't even think about that. All right. Clock strikes 0. Teams return to their respective sidelines. Again, Gateway won the toss, elected to defer, so they will receive the opening kickoff of the second half. It was 7-7 after the first quarter, then 28-14 after the second quarter, with Wellen Park outscoring them 21-7 in the second 12-minute period. Swag surfing playing. high energy all night, whether it's on the field or in the bleachers. So Gateway will look to set the tone in the second half. They certainly did just a little bit of damage in the second half on opening week last Friday, scoring 34 second half points, including the 90-yard reception touchdown from Jaden Hart. He had a 90-plus yard reception touchdown in both halves, but only an 8-yard reception touchdown in the second quarter earlier tonight. Now we begin the third quarter. The second half is underway. Donovan Childers boots it high in the air. Caught by Aiden Gerardo at the 15, bobbled it, but eventually came down with it cleanly. At the 25, Gerardo will be down at exactly the 30-yard line.
On the 30-yard line, Gateway takes over. First down.
Another quarterback switch. It will be Parker Ellis. This is a team that is going to use both quarterbacks all year long, it looks like. This is Parker Ellis in the pistol. First play from scrimmage from the third quarter. Ellis in the gun. Throws on the screen to Jaden Hart, but he's wrestled down quickly by Shane Scott. Shane Scott plays on both sides of the field.
Pass complete number 2, Jaden Hart. 2-yard gain on the play. Second down.
Jaden Hart, their clear number 1 receiver. Dane Kante, the defensive back, now on the field at the bottom of your screen. Ellis in the gun, drops back. Go up the middle, caught by Gerardo. Gerardo is fought hard, but eventually brought down by Robert DeLuca.
Pass complete to number 7, Aiden Gerardo. Gateway, first down.
First down, Gateway to the 47 of its own. Trip stacked at the bottom of the screen with Jarrell Robinson leading the way. Ellis under pressure, squirming, throws it up high, and it is a dangerous incompletion intended for Jaden Hart. Second down for Gateway.
Second down.
Gateway looking to break into Wellen Park territory. Started from their own 30-yard line. Robinson and Gerardo, twin set at the bottom of your screen. Out wide to the left, Jaden Hart. Single back set, now in the pistol, Parker Ellis. Ellis takes the snap, gives it to Trinidad, and he surges past midfield. This will make it third and manageable for Gateway. Third and about 4.
Gain on the play. Third down.
From the 46.5-yard line, third down and 3 for Gateway. Ellis in the gun. And a pre-snap penalty. False start, and that'll move back Gateway 5 yards. Third down and 8 upcoming for the visiting Eagles.
5-yard penalty. Still third down.
The theme in Wellen Park's first 3 games, they've definitely been the more disciplined team. Whether it was in the preseason game against Northport, opening week against Mariner, and tonight, a lot of pre-snap violations from Gateway. And this could end up being a drive killer. Third down and 8. Back on their own side of the field at the 49. Trips at the bottom of your screen. Ellis drops back. Fires up the middle of the field, and it's caught by Jaden Hart on the extension. Tracked down by Dan Kanthig. And Gateway's
Number 2, Jaden Hart. Gateway.
first down. So key third down and medium conversion. Gateway has first down and 10 at the Wellen Park 21-yard line, following the Jaden Hart big completion. Now Hart is the split end, out wide to the right. In the pistol, Parker Ellis takes the snap. Gives to Trinidad, doesn't have much on the run. He is swallowed up at the 20, a gain of 1.
Carried by number 3, Daniel Trinidad. 1 yard gain on the play. Second down.
Gateway now in the red zone from the 20-yard line of Wellen Park. Micah Patel, the defensive end, now off. Colton Pipish in the game. That defensive front with Bryce Metz, Colin Gilkerson, David Joka, and number 97, Colton Pipish. Done a fine job tonight on the inside runs. Trips right for Gateway. Ellis takes the snap. Ellis pump fakes, a pair of flags thrown, and whatever couple of yards he got on the play, he'll be coming back.
Number 13, Parker Ellis. Flag on the play. Holding against
Second down and 19 coming up for Gateway.
Repeat. Second down.
Just can't stay out of their own way. That'll back them to the 30. Second down and 19. You're actually putting that at the 31. That's more like an 11-yard holding penalty. If you saw where the ball was initially placed, I think Gateway kind of got a little fleeced there, or maybe I'm wrong. Second down and 19 for Gateway. Ellis takes the snap from the gun. Ellis launching it deep downfield, and it is hauled in. Gerardo on the catch. Magnificent hands by Aiden Gerardo, and Gateway has first and goal. Unbelievable play. Underthrown football, but Gerardo somehow, some way, Wellen Park leads by 14 points. Under 8 minutes to play in the third quarter. Gateway driving, now in a goal-to-go situation from the Wellen Park 7-yard line. Ellis under center. On the stretch handoff to Trinidad, and that defensive front for Wellen Park is there to drop him back for a loss. DeLuca finished the tackle, but there was a swarm of Red Eagles there. Three-yard loss on the play, now second and goal from the 10-yard line.
3-yard loss on the play, it is second down.
Gerardo and Robinson, the twin receivers to the left. Jaden Hart, the lone receiver to the right. Keep an eye on Jaden Hart. Ellis in the gun, takes the snap. Ellis throws it up the middle, but nothing there. It was batted down at the line of scrimmage. Gerardo, the closest receiver to it, and it is third down and goal from the Wellen Park 10-yard line. This drive has taken up a significant chunk of the quarter. Already 5 minutes and 5 seconds. Third down and goal from the 10-yard. Third down and goal from the 10-yard line for Gateway. Trips left, Jaden Hart, the lone receiver, to the right. Ellis in the gun, drops back, rolling out, and he lobs it in for the touchdown. Will Quintana for the score, and Gateway makes it a one-possession game once again. Will Quintana secures his second reception touchdown of the season. 10 yards out. Impressive drive to begin the second half for Gateway. PAT attempt from Keegan Lee. Bingo. 28-21. 7 total touchdowns in tonight's game. If you like offense, stay tuned. With vibrant Beaudry and Scott each have a long reception touchdown tonight. Beaudry, 43 yards. Scott, 53 yards. Those two players are just so much fun to watch, and I hope they have a bright future here at Wellen Park for the remainder of the season and anything after that. Love watching those guys play. It's a low kick that bounces at the 30, and it is bobbled, but scooped up eventually by Shane Scott. And rather Curtis Beaudry, and Beaudry across the 40. What a recovery. Curtis Beaudry was in the right place, right time.
Kickoff returned by number 18, Curtis Beaudry. Wellen Park will take over on their own 44-yard line. Right after this, water break. Officials timeout.
Curtis Beaudry, whether it's special teams or in the wide receiver position, he does damage. I mean, I just don't know how. If you're the Gateway secondary between Underwood, Kasani, Scott, and Beaudry, those are 4 really grade A talents from what I've seen so far this season. Wellen Park will start at their own 44-yard line. Again, the story of tonight, the Wellen Park field position. It's killing the Gateway defense. Wireman fakes the handoff, and he'll run up the middle. Wireman now to the outside, dodges the hit and pushes off of his blocker, Jack Underwood, and he has a first down. The dual threat quarterback, Noah Wireman. Gain of 15 on the play. From the Gateway 41, spread offense for Wellen Park. Wireman in the gun, standing at the 50. And it's Landon Murphy on the catch. Landon Murphy, his first touch of the game. Rather, Landon Cumberbatch, excuse me. Landon Cumberbatch on the catch. Now Sawyer Slofey heading to the sideline. We didn't see Slofey or Cumberbatch in the first half, and if we did, it may have been for only one play. Graham Kasani wide for the Wellen Park Eagles. Wireman hands it off to Bynum. Bynum is dragged down and thrown down.
Number 24, Malachi Bynum.
Flags on the play, though.
Flag on the play.
A pretty aggressive tackle, but looked clean to me. Holding on Wellen Park.
Holding against Wellen Park. 10-yard penalty.
So we'll back them up 10 yards, first down and 20. Wellen Park doesn't make many mistakes up front, but there's an first time for everything. Shane Scott. Rather Curtis Beaudry. Beaudry and Underwood stacked up to the right of the line of scrimmage. Wireman in the gun, snaps back, and another flag flies, this time a pre-snap penalty. False start. So 15 yards worth of penalties. Sasha Heyer's not going to like that.
Illegal formation against Wellen Park. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
I think Nico Brasco, the tight end you see in the middle of the screen, number 13, is due for a catch here. He's yet to have a target tonight. One of the team captains, Nico Brasco. Wireman fakes the handoff, throws out wide to Underwood, off of his hands and incomplete. A dropped pass.
Underwood, incomplete pass. Second down.
Excuse me, not second down and 25, second down and 16. Trips right, Brasco, Slofie, and Kasani. Second down and 16 from the Gateway 46. Wireman takes the snap, dropping back, incomplete, intended for Malachi Bynum up the middle. It'll be third and long for Wellen Park.
Malachi Bynum, incomplete pass. Third down.
Third down and 16 from the Gateway 46. Malachi Bynum, the single back. Wireman receives the play call. Wireman heaves it deep for Beaudry. It is incomplete. Maximum effort, though, from Curtis Beaudry.
Pass intended for
However, they will
incomplete
kick
pass.
it away.
It's fourth down.
So their first punt since the opening drive for Wellen Park. Impressive run of successful offensive possessions for Wellen Park, but you have a chance to pin back Gateway deep. Two returners on the field, Gerardo and Jaden Hart. Donovan Childers punts it from his own 45, and it's a good one. It will roll down and just past the goal line for a touchback. So Gateway will start at the 20-yard line.
Take over on their own 20-yard line. Wellen Park football proudly thanks Green Vista Roofing for supporting Eagle.
Not a bad punt, though.
Green Vista Roofing.
Just had an unfortunate
Protecting
result.
what matters most, one roof at a time.
Gateway has a chance to tie the game. This game has not been even since 7-7 in the first quarter. Wellen Park has led by as many as 14 points on two occasions, 21-7 and 28-14. Ellis on the slant route has Jaden Hart, and he scoops it up. Ruled a catch.
Pass complete to number 2,
Much to the displeasure of the Wellen Park sideline as well as the fans in attendance. They immediately, I think, saw that we could see a replay. Now the officials discuss. There we go.
Pass is incomplete.
And that ball did meet the turf. stellar job by the officiating crew to correct that. Second down and 10 from the 20-yard line of Gateway. Second drive of the third quarter for Gateway. The first resulted in a 10-yard touchdown grab by Will Quintana. Spread offense for Gateway. Ellis in the pocket, under pressure by Colton Pipish. And the pass is caught at the 20 and rolling to the 25, Aiden Gerardo on a 5-yard catch. However, a flag on the play, and it's coming back.
On Gateway, 10-yard penalty. A repeat, second down.
So very unfortunate sequence for Gateway. Had a catch called back. And then a medium pickup negated by a holding penalty. So now Gateway pinned back to their own 10-yard line. Second down and 20 for the visiting Eagles. Jaden Hart is the wide receiver at the bottom of your screen. Ellis in the gun, rolling to his left. Has Hart at the sideline, caught at the 20, and pushed out of bounds. First down on the Jaden Hart reception.
Pass complete to number 2, Jaden Hart. Yard gain on the play. It's third down.
Third down and 7 for Gateway at the 24-yard line. 5 receivers. Parker Ellis immediately pressured, but lobs a pass that was bobbled and dropped by Quintana, and he is down. Quintana took a big hit from Evan Tague, and he rips off the helmet. This is not good. Will Quintana, who had the reception touchdown on the previous Gateway series, is in pain. A couple of coaches and trainers checking on Quintana. Players taking a knee. And he is still down. Do see him moving his legs, which is a good sign. And now he is helped up. All right, Will Quintana. Glad that he is okay. As he heads toward the sideline. Safe to say he's questionable to return, but just hope that it's not a serious injury. The clock continues, a minute 33. Well, it doesn't continue as an incomplete pass. Minute 33 to play in the third quarter. Lee will punt it away to the dangerous Curtis Beaudry. It's a high kick. Beaudry will watch it bounce it around the 45. It'll roll past the 40, and it will be downed at the 37-yard line of Wellen Park.
On the Wellen Park 37-yard line. First down, Wellen Park.
Again, the field position for Wellen Park, the Gateway just can't pin them. Wellen Park's worst field position all game long has been for their own 30. And that was the opening series.
At a time.
Starting field position to me is one of the most important and sometimes overlooked statistics, especially if there's a common trend. If you're now on your 8th series and you're starting at the 30-yard line or better, it makes it difficult to win football games on the opposition. First play of the drive is a handoff to Campbell. He spins and is just short of the 40-yard line, a gain of 2 on the play to the 39.
2-yard gain on the play. Second down.
Final minute of the third quarter. Twin receivers to the right. Wireman fakes the give, but a flag down.
Flag on the play.
And it's going against Wellen Park. So pre-snap infraction. Be a false start. Now second down and 13 for Wellen Park. 4 different Wellen Park players have scored a touchdown. Bynum, Scott, Beaudry, and Wireman have the rushing touchdown in the closing moments of the first half. Second down and 13 for Wellen Park. Broskow and Kasani now, the 2 receivers out wide to the right, rather to the left. Wireman drops back, rolling out to his right. Quick pass collected by Beaudry, but he's brought down by a swarm of white jerseys,
Pass complete to
including Humphrey. It makes it third down and manageable. Third down and 8 for Wellen Park. And that will be the final play of the third quarter. Only 1 touchdown scored in the third quarter, a slower offensive frame. And it was the opening drive from Gateway on the Will Quintana reception touchdown. However, Wellen Park will have the football to begin the fourth quarter, the final 12 minutes of the first regular season home game in Wellen Park history when we come back. All right, we'll take a quick break. We have reached the fourth quarter. A date between Eagles, 28-21 in favor of Wellen Park. It is third down and medium for Wellen Park. First play of the fourth quarter is a big one, and they are still adjusting the chains on the Gateway sideline. You can kind of see in the corner of the screen. They're still figuring it out. Third down and medium. Wireman immediately rolls out to the left, and it's short-armed, intended for Beaudry. This will send out the punt team for the hosting Eagles. Two drives, 2 punts in the second half for Wellen Park. Childers to punt, 2 men back to return. Jaden Hart and Aiden Gerardo. Childers punts it, a line drive. Gerardo will let it go, and it takes a nice little Wellen Park roll inside of the 20-yard line. Beautiful. Gateway will start at the 16. And again, it's that field position. I'll keep saying it. Donovan Childers has had a nice night. He did miss a field goal, but 4 for 4 on extra points. He's had some solid punts, including that one. That is a if you get him inside of the 20, that's good. And at the 16, Gateway will need 84 yards to tie this game. Aiden King is back in the game at quarterback in the first handoff. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. And that ball is placed at the 18, second down and 8. Rather the 14, second down and 12 for Gateway.
Timeout. Gateway. Their first timeout of the second half.
Timeout called by Gateway, the first of the second half. Wellen Park still has a full package of timeouts. Looks like we'll have an exciting finish. Wellen Park 28, Gateway 21. Gateway has not led in this game since the opening series. Parker Ellis started the second half at quarterback and again swapped to Aiden King. Second down and 11 from the 14. King fakes the handoff, drifting right and throws it incomplete. Closest receiver Jaden Hart near the sideline, and it will be third down and long for Gateway. And if you don't convert this, or worse, not gain any yards or lose yards, you'll be punting away, and Wellen Park will be in a golden position to start on the plus side of the field. We've only had that once tonight, starting in plus position. But the ones that have been in their own field position, or own side of the field, have been stellar. King drops back, launches it up the middle, caught. Who else but Jaden Hart, and he is finally dragged down at the 39-yard line. It's a Gateway first down, pickup of 25 on the play. Don't have the live statistics, but I'm sure that Jaden Hart has surpassed 100 yards for the second straight week to begin the season. Jarrell Robinson, Aiden Gerardo to the left. And it looks like Will Quintana is back in the game along with Jaden Hart on the right side of the field. It's a low snap. Meg Patel on the rush, as well as Robert Corrigan, and he will wrestle down Aiden King A massive sack for Robert Corrigan. The star inside linebacker. Showing why Sasha Hira has such high praise for him. A monumental loss on the play. Second down and 19 for Gateway. And a pre-snap penalty again. False start against Gateway, and that'll back them up another 5 yards. Second down and 24. The 9-yard sack from Robert Corrigan, immediately followed by a false start penalty. Trips left for Gateway, Quintana, Gerardo, and Jarrell Robinson. Hart loaned to the right side. Aiden King lobs it on the check down to Trinidad. Good medium gain on the play. Still third down and long. It'll be third down at about 16. Third down and 15, the official. All right. Under 8 minutes to play in regulation. Wellen Park 28, Gateway 21. Third down and 15 for the Gateway offense. And it's a low snap that rolls past Aiden King. He scoops it up, stays on his feet momentarily, but Knox Swafford tracks him down and sacks King, the second sack of the drive. However, the low snap most definitely contributed to that. And it's fourth down and 30. Fourth down and 30 for Gateway. Curtis Beaudry, the punt returner, standing right at midfield. Gateway can't really give up any more points. The field goal will make it a 2-score game with minimal time left. Keegan Lee boots it away. Beaudry signals for the fair catch around the 45, and it takes a nice Wellen Park bounce. Touched by Gateway at the 50. So Wellen Park will begin at midfield, looking for its first points of the second half. You do have Donovan Childers, a 4-star kicker. He did miss a 36-yarder earlier in the game. But Wellen Park won't settle for a field goal, you know that. Official timeout on the field. Gateway with 2 timeouts remaining. Wellen Park still with 3 in terms of the team timeouts. Still surprised that Nico Brasco is yet to make a catch. Perhaps he will make a touchdown grab on this drive or a significant gain on this pivotal series. Six minutes and 37 seconds remain in regulation. Bynum is the single back. First down from midfield. Wireman hands it off to Bynum. Cuts to the outside. Bynum is tracked down by Humphrey, the middle linebacker. Gain of 2 on the play. Second down and 8 for Wellen Park. No need to rush. Let that clock run. I think you want to snap this ball probably inside 5 seconds if you're the Eagles. 13 seconds on the play clock now, and I think that's probably what's going to happen here. They'll snap it at around the 4-second mark. Wireman takes the snap, rolling out to his left, and he'll use his legs. Wireman, good gain on the play to the Gateway 42. Close to the first down marker, but it'll be 3rd and 2.
6-yard gain on the play. 3rd down.
I think this is 4-down territory if you're Wellen Park. 3rd down and 2 in no man's land at the Gateway 42-yard line. Lone receiver at the bottom of your screen is Bobby Alfarano. Wireman in the gun, takes the snap, hands it off the middle to Will Campbell, and Campbell is out in the open. Will Campbell sprinting down the sideline is finally muscled down inside the 5. That's a money-making run from Will Campbell. 30-plus yards on the carry. First down and goal from the 2-yard line for Wellen Park. Wireman drops back to pass, pump fakes. Now drifting left, Wireman searching for the corner. He's in for the touchdown. The second rushing touchdown of the game for Noah Wireman. Wellen Park in front by 13 points once again, 34-21. Two-yard rushing touchdown for Wireman. Both of his touchdown runs have been within 2 yards, a 2-yarder and a 1-yarder. Childers on for the PAT. Low snap, handled by Brasco, and the kick is up and good from Childers.
This one is so good. The score, Gateway 21. Your Wellen Park Eagles 34.
35-21, Wellen Park. So Gateway with 4 minutes and 18 seconds on the game clock and only 2 timeouts will certainly have a sense of urgency, and you do have that deep play threat with Jaden Hart for Gateway. Wireman has had multiple rushing touchdowns in each of his first 2 games. On the return, Aiden Gerardo trying to break free, but it'll get down to the 27.
Returned by number 7, Aiden Gerardo. Tackle on the Gateway 27-yard line. Gateway first down.
Correction on the extra point. I apologize. It was no good. 34-21. to 21 is your score. That's my mistake. King in the pocket. Chased down by Pipish. Gets rid of it toward the sideline. Incomplete. Bit out of reach. But the clock does stay stopped. 4 minutes and 4 seconds to play. 34 to 21 Wellen Park. See if that Noah Wireman rushing touchdown moments ago was enough padding. Gateway from its own 28-yard line. Empty set. Throw up the middle is dropped to a wide open target in Gerardo. Hayden Gerardo. The costly drop. 3rd down and 10 from the 28 of Gateway. You don't necessarily need to throw 10-plus yards in the air. Maybe you get 5-6 yards, make it 4th down and manageable. Spread offense, 5 wide receivers. King in the pocket, launching deep downfield, and it is dropped by Will Quintana. Another drop. So King not getting much help from his wideouts on this drive. And they'll bring out the punt team. Trailing by 13 points, 3 minutes and 53 seconds to play. I mean, you might as well go for it, right? I don't know. You're really in a position now that you don't have much to lose, but it is a fake punt, and it's C.J. Hood that is immediately met by Evan Tague. So the fake punt certainly did not fool Wellen Park on that play. C.J. Hood immediately dropped by Evan Tague. I don't know. I mean, that was immediate. That was immediate. I mean, I'm thinking if you almost had a feeling they were going to fake it, but you may as well just keep the offense on the field if that was the play that was going to be run. So now Wellen Park takes over at the 21 of Gateway. Wireman hands off to Will Campbell. Cut to the outside. Will Campbell spins off a tackler. Will Campbell keeps on going and is brought down high at the 5. Pickup of 16 on the play. Will Campbell deserves a touchdown run tonight. He is one of the few Wellen Park star players that is yet to score this evening. And I think for team morale, you're going to want to get number 23 in red into the end zone. However, a timeout called for Gateway. Second timeout used of the half. Closing minutes of tonight's game, Wellen Park well in control. 34 to 21, 3 minutes and 32 seconds to play, and they have 1st down and goal. Head coach Sasha Heyer looking on. His soon-to-be 2-0 Wellen Park Eagles. 1st down and goal, Wellen Park from the Gateway 5-yard line. Wireman in the gun, takes the snap, gives it to Campbell. Campbell on the outside, runs in for the touchdown, and there it is. Will Campbell, a well-deserved 6 points for number 23 in red, white, and blue. That is the first rushing touchdown of the season for Mr. Campbell, and Wellen Park puts up 40 tonight. They lead 40-21. I love it because you know they wanted to get Will Campbell in the end zone. Like I said, that is just beautiful football. As Sasha Heyer said, it is the ultimate team sport. Childers this time on the PAT. I'll watch it all the way through. It is good. 41-21.
The score, Gateway 51. Your Wellen Park Eagles 41.
20-point lead for Wellen Park. They had a slow start to the second half, and it looked like Gateway was inching closer to a tie football game, but they turned it up. Wellen Park is going to be 2-0 with their next home game 6 days from now on Thursday night against DeSoto. DeSoto County, 0-2 overall on the season. Currently playing Frostproof, and Frostproof leads 41-0. So surely Frostproof, though, is a historically excellent program. This kickoff is short and it'll bounce out of bounds. So Gateway will start this drive at the 35 of their own. 3 minutes and 27 seconds to play. Venice at halftime, 57-0 lead over Smarton. Wow. And that's all I've got to say about that. 41-21, 20-point advantage for Wellen Park. And another change at quarterback. We'll go back to Parker Ellis. And how about another pre-snap infraction, delay of game against Gateway. Their second delay of game of the play. Maybe an illegal substitution, rather. Anyway, first down and 15 from the 30-yard line. Last gasps for Gateway. Parker Ellis rolling out to his right. Heaves it upfield incomplete, intended for Jaden Hart. Second down and 10. 6 total touchdowns tonight for Wellen Park, including a pair of Wireman rush touchdowns. Gateway was in this game for a while, but about the midpoint of the fourth quarter, Wellen Park started to run away with it. Trips right. However, it is a deep throw intended for Jaden Hart, and Shane Scott had an interception on his fingertips, but could not come up with it securely. Incomplete, third down and 10. Third down and 15. First down marker at the 45. The line to gain the 45. It was the third time tonight that Gateway had a pre-snap penalty to begin the drive. So when you begin the drive 5 yards back without even snapping the ball, that's a problem. Keep an eye on Jaden Hart. In the pistol, Parker Ellis keeps it on the read option. Evan Tague, though, and Robert DeLuca combine on the tackle at the 34-yard line, making it 4th down for Gateway, and it looks like the punt team is coming out. But why, though? I just feel like early in the season you want to get reps, especially on 4th down plays. I don't know, that's just me. There must be a reason why, so. Now Lee will punt it away. Curtis Beaudry back to return. Signaled for the fair catch and grabs it at the 37-yard line.
Wellen Park takes over on their 36-yard line.
One last time, because this will most likely be the final Wellen Park offensive drive of the game. They've had 10 drives tonight, with this being the 10th. Own 30, own 35, own 47, own 35. Gateway 27, own 41, own 44, own 37, 50-yard line, and again, own 37. That has been the starting field position for Wellen Park tonight. I mean, as long as you don't turn the ball over 3+ times or something of that nature, it's going to be hard to lose. So low pressure on the offense tonight. I don't think they've had a single play behind their 20-yard line, in fact, as Campbell is wrestled down quickly.
Carry back number 23, Will Campbell. No gain on the play. 2nd down.
Timeout on the field for an injured Gateway player. See if we can identify who it is. It looks to be number 55, Moisey Jerome, possibly. Thankfully, not too many injuries tonight. 0 on the Wellen Park side, and just Quintana came down on the drive after he caught the touchdown, and now a defensive injury for Gateway. I want to remind you that Wellen Park will host DeSoto County 6 days from now, again on Vibrant Aspect Media. They'll look to improve to 3-0 against the Bulldogs. DeSoto County out of Arcadia, Florida. And the week after that, it is no joke. Cardinal Mooney High School, top 10 team in the state, top 75 team nationally. Wellen Park will have their hands full, and that'll be a very neat challenge for this young squad. Louis does in at quarterback. Louis does drop back. In the flat, finds Cumberbatch. Cumberbatch brought down out of bounds.
Number 12, Louis does. Pass complete to number 81, Landon Cumberbatch.
Under 2 minutes to play in the 4th quarter. Wellen Park leads 41-21. And again, a quarterback change. Louis does in for Noah Wireman. I think Noah Wireman deserves a few minutes of rest to end this football game. He has a towel over his head, standing at about midfield on the sideline. What a season he has had so far. Does in the gun. Hands to Will Campbell. Gets past the 45.
Carry by number 23, Will Campbell.
And it'll be 4th down and short for Wellen Park. See what they decide to do. Freddie Mancuso Buba in the game at wide receiver, number 14 in red.
4th down, 1 yard to go.
And it looks like on 4th and 1, the hosting Eagles say, why not? Let's go for it. And it's really fascinating to me how, in a way, the team up 20 has been more aggressive than the team down 20 late. Play clock down to 4 seconds. I think they'll call a timeout. There he is, Sasha Heyer. Lets the play clock go down to the maximum amount of time.
Wellen Park Athletics proudly thanks Turner Creek Golf Course for supporting the Eagles. Enjoy outstanding golf close to home.
May as well give your backup quarterback another few reps. And it's only 4th down and a yard. 1 minute, 5 seconds to play. Quick timeout.
Cooling and Plumbing, Paradise Exclusive, and Ace Hardware for supporting the Eagles.
I want to thank everybody in the press box, everybody at Wellen Park High School. This is impressive. Just a culture of dominance so far on the football field. The offense stays out there on 4th down and 1. Louis does under center. Handoff to Nico Brasco, the tight end, who trucks through a few defenders. His first touch of the game will be one of the final plays from scrimmage in tonight's Wellen Park win. Nico Brasco, the tight end, on the handoff. I was talking about how I wanted to see him get a touch tonight. Well, he gets it in an unorthodox way, the tight end on the handoff on 4th down to have the final conversion for Wellen Park. 20 seconds on the play clock, 40 seconds on the game clock. They'll just be able to take a knee. Louis does under center. 7 seconds on the play clock, and will take a knee down at the Gateway 45-yard line. In their first ever home varsity football game in the regular season, Wellen Park is victorious by a final score of 41-21. Ring the bell. The Eagles are 2-0. The Wellen Park Eagles improved to 2-0 on the season. The Gateway Eagles dropped to 1-1. Scoring plays tonight for Wellen Park. In the first half, Malachi Bynum, 3-yard rushing touchdown. Shane Scott, 53-yard reception touchdown. 43-yard reception touchdown from Curtis Beaudry. 1-yard rushing touchdown from Noah Wireman. Then in the second half, Noah Wireman had another short rushing touchdown on 2 yards. Then Will Campbell capped it off with a 5-yard rushing score. As for Gateway, they had a Parker Ellis rushing touchdown 10 yards out. 8-yard reception touchdown from Jaden Hart, each in the first half. And other than the opening series in the second half for Gateway, they were shut out. It was the 10-yard reception touchdown from Will Quintana on the first drive of the third quarter. Let Freebird Play. That is the song that will be heard after all Wellen Park home victories. The regular season home opener is a great success as Wellen Park wins 41-21. Dominance from the Eagles in red, and a tough loss for the Eagles in white. From Wellen Park High School, I am Ben Slotnick. Final score, Wellen Park 41, Gateway 21. The Eagles, again, we will be back next week on Thursday night hosting DeSoto County. It will be a 7 o'clock sharp kickoff this time, not 7:30. A 7 p.m. kickoff next Thursday night. Wellen Park hosting DeSoto County. Wellen Park 2-0, DeSoto County 0-3. Thank you for tuning in to tonight's broadcast. It's been a blast. Wellen Park wins by 20. From Wellen Park High School, I'm Ben Slotnick. Good night.